Hey everybody, this is Dr. Javan. I'd like to welcome to another episode of Latte Talk. I am interviewing somebody who inspired me to come up with this channel. She has her own YouTube, which is called Coffee Time with Dr. Suarez. And this is great. I just finished interviewing her and I know you're going to enjoy this. She's an amazing colleague, a dentist at Exceptional Dentistry of Sarasota, which I will also put up the link for that if anybody's in the Tampa area. It truly lives up to its name of being Exceptional Dentistry of Sarasota. So thank you for watching. Please enjoy, and I will put up all the links and her information in the description. Thanks so much. How's everything? How you doing?
Good, hanging in there. This week was like the first week kind of back at work. I mean, I had gone for a few emergencies, but you know, getting ready for the new reopening, I guess. And
Yes.
slowly seeing patients. I think patients getting accommodated as well.
Yeah.
The staff, you know, just trying to figure it out like everybody else.
We're the same boat. Yep, I totally understand.
Did they finally, are you guys finally able to open or?
Well, they said Palm Beach can open. I believe they put dental on last Monday. They considered us essential. Thank God.
Okay.
And they said we can open. So we saw a few patients, and I got to use my laser yesterday. Oh, I so miss that machine. It is unbelievable the things we can do. So we've been practicing. We've been doing a lot of courses, just like everybody else. But we've actually been in the office. We got a new printer. We've been printing stuff, and we've been doing aligners and things like that. So we kind of, I have to say, we did utilize our downtime a little bit to learn a lot of stuff. How you been? What you guys been up to? Just to tell my audience, I think my 3 subscribers, and one of them is my mom. Thank you. So Christina, we met through, face to face, we met through FACD, I believe, the first time.
Yes.
But I had seen your videos. Your videos is what inspired me, intrigued me to do my Latte Talk. I think yours is called Coffee Talk.
Thank you. Coffee Time, yes.
Coffee time. And it was so good. It was so from the heart. And it was, I believe your first one, you talked about what Kyle talked about. And it was so real and so genuine, so unrehearsed. And I was so impressed, and it really hit home. And then you were a guest in my class. I don't want to say you took my class because I have to take classes from you.
We all need refreshers.
So you were there as a guest, and I played that video as part of my lecture, which was really great. And I will ask you for all the links and all your channels. That I would love to include this. But tell me, I know who you are, but tell us who you are and what you do. Who are you? What are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I know, right? And we've all spent this time kind of rediscovering, like, who are we? What are we doing here? We spend so much time at work, and people ask us, what do you do? I'm a dentist. But that's not all that we do, right? And that wasn't the only inspiration behind Coffee Time, and I'm sure for you with Latte Talk, that's, you know, we might see 9 or 10 patients on a daily basis, and we see our staff and our peers on a daily basis, but there's so much that we want to share, and there's so much that like you said, comes from the heart, that is genuine, that we want to put out there, that sometimes people just don't know. How many times do you not get a patient that comes in and you explain something that we think is simple, right? We take it for granted how simple it is to us, and they're mind blown. They're like, oh my God, I never knew that.
Yeah.
And so just simplifying some of that, putting it in layman's term, getting information out there, empowering people, right? And so coming out of this quarantine, we've all had this isolation time and have been stripped of what we do, a lot of identity, right? Who we are, who am I? But we're not just dentists. We put smile on people's faces, like literally put smiles on people's faces, but that's not all that we do. And we don't need to be a dentist to do that. We do it because we love putting smile on people's faces. We love people. We love relationships. We love inspiring. We love teaching. We love all of those other things that we can do through so many different means.
That's my whole point of having this channel, because I always say this and I keep repeating myself. And I was talking to a couple of people before. I am a dentist. That's my profession, but there's a bigger purpose in your, than what you do in your profession. And it's the relationships you make. It's the people you inspire. It's the people that you get inspired by just on daily basis. How much do we learn from our patients? How grateful am I to have this profession, to come in contact with so many incredible individuals that teach me life lessons on daily basis. I mean, I have patients. Go ahead.
That's also like so awesome. Who am I? Well, who's my tribe? Who do I surround myself with? Is it people that encourage me to do better, to be better, see me for who I am, like truly see me for who I am? What am I surrounded by?
Yeah. So that brings me to my first question, because we have 30 minutes and I want to be on time and I don't want to edit anything out. There's so much negativity out there now that there's a wasp out there that's going to kill people, and there's so much bad news. Tell me, to you, what, and I love your attitude. You're such a positive person, and your patients are truly lucky. And I have to say, at the exceptional dentistry of Sarasota.
Yes.
But tell me some positive stuff coming out of this.
One thing that we all know, and I guess maybe sometimes take for granted, is that life is uncertain, right? We never know what tomorrow is going to bring. We're all freaked out because of everything that's going on and these wasps, and tomorrow it might be a hurricane and quarantine and coronavirus and all of these things. But when do you ever wake up in the morning and know with certainty how your day is going to be or what's going to happen by the end of your day? Yeah. You don't ever, right? So I think taking this time to learn to wake up with purpose and intention, and it's not about what we're faced with, but how we face those things, right? What decisions we make, what attitude we take on. How many people do you not see that have been through so many terrible things and they have the best of attitudes, and then vice versa? So how can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? What can I bring is an attitude, right? A desire to find joy in the little things. It's always about the small everyday things. And how can I bring joy to other people, regardless of whatever else is going on?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And one thing, this channel is, it's mostly for dentists. There are some that I would say it's 50-50. And the other half, I talk to people who are just as inspiring and inspired as we all are, and have so much passion for what they do. But most of my, the other 50% is about service organizations, people that do charity work and things like that. But this, as dentally speaking, so to my audience that is dental, what are your thoughts, and how can we be different or stronger leaders as we slowly go back to the workplace?
I think one of the things that we can do is try, just like we're inspired by other people and the people that surround us, is to inspire. right? To
Mm.
call other people to live with joy, to inspire, to do what we're doing, this camaraderie, and share that with our teammates, with our staff, with our patients. I think that's just such a big part. We get so caught up in the day-to-day, in get up, go to work, get through the day, come home, dinner, clean, this, that, the other. And we lose sight of the things that are truly important to us sometimes. So constantly just reminding ourselves and setting a tone, setting an intention for how our day is going to be, I think is really important.
Yeah. And on the same token, one of our biggest assets as successful dental offices is our team. And I know you have such amazing team, and I've met them through FACD, and I met them through conferences, and they the restaurant that I picked that night, which I hope everybody liked.
I think everybody had a good time. I think you're safe.
But tell me a little bit about your team. What are some of let's talk about team members. What are some things that you're inspired by, and what makes a great team?
We do have some amazing team members, and you do too. I've met your team, and they're just incredible. And for example, my main assistant Tiffany, she has a smile that lights up the room. And it doesn't matter what you throw her way. She is just an incredible spirit and an incredible human being. And she's not perfect. I'm not perfect, right? None of the team members are perfect. But what makes a great team is finding the things that make those people great, right? And then knowing how to put that in place. What makes a good coach for a sports team? It's not the team, right? It's what he does with those individual members. Right. You can find greatness in everyone and in everything. And we lose sight of that sometimes. We lose focus. And so allowing an environment that lets them bring who they are to work, which you do all the time. I mean, your team is just awesome. Talk about coming to work and just running into joy in the morning. I mean, they just exude and radiate happiness all the time.
We try to have fun.
Yeah, you guys have fun, but that's part of it. Having fun. We're here all day, every day, right? So it's more of developing, right, their strengths and not focusing so much on the weaknesses, because you can find so much amazingness in everyone.
Yeah, and you talked about a coach. My favorite subject, sports, which we miss so much. I always think about this. I always think about Super Bowl winning teams. You have, I don't know how many team players. You have 51 members from all different parts of the country, all different backgrounds. You bring them together and bring out their best, at the same time keeping their identity and putting it all together and have a winning team. And that takes some amazing leadership skills. And this is really, I have to say, if I interview some dental coaches, that they can tell me all of this, to talk to somebody who lives it and has a successful practice, it's completely different, and it hits home to other dentists as well. So it's the atmosphere. I always say this, and I appreciate what you said about my team. It's the loving atmosphere that you create and a purpose-driven practice. If they see we do have a purpose, and if they see what we do inspires them, that's the driving force. I'm going to ask you one more thing. This is a little off the topic. Tom, which I am going to interview him.
Yes.
Does he ever sleep? Seriously.
No, he does not.
I've never seen anyone. First of all, I've never seen anyone. I'll tell him as well. Being on Facebook jail for so many times, posting so much on different groups,
I'm
and
like, I don't even want to see my Facebook because you're blowing it up. Stop it.
I see him. I see him text me at 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He never sleeps.
He does that to us too, by the way.
How is it working with him? Because I've never worked with him personally. I'm on a board member with him, and he truly what he did, and I don't want to get his head too big, but it's true though. What he did, he brought FACD back to what it is now. I mean, eh, everybody helped, of course. It wasn't just him, but he was a driving force.
Right.
No pun intended, or driven by passion. But that conference, I thought it was a pivotal point in the academy's coming back. And
It
him
really was
playing
amazing.
Back in Black and walking onto that stage, I thought that was just amazing. But tell me a little bit about him. I'm gonna interview
Well,
him as well, but I'd like to hear it from you.
there's some of that quirkiness, like Tom, I am not getting on stage and I am not doing any of those things and I am not wearing that jacket, but he's all excited. But
Oh,
I mean, that's part of it, right? Being excited about what you're doing. And it's contagious, but Tom is a worker. Like he's focused, he's at the office and he is just the longer he's in an operatory, the happier he is. He could go the
yeah,
whole day without drinking water, without eating, just work, 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 come out of there, jump on Facebook, be on Facebook for a couple of hours. And he's really nonstop. And I think one of the things that makes him so successful, especially with the FACD, is that when there's something that needs to be done, he just does it. Like right
yeah,
then and there, he
yeah,
just does it. He makes the phone calls. He makes the connections. That's one of the wonderful things about him. Um, how he doesn't waste any time. He immediately picks up the phone and will talk to whoever he needs to talk to, to get things done. And working with him, I mean, he's an amazing dentist. He's really
yeah,
good at what he does, and he's all about the latest and greatest and the technology and providing for his patients. So
yeah,
it's inspiring.
yeah,
It brings me to a higher calling, right? And
yeah,
and we're
yeah,
different personalities, so we complement each other as well.
yeah, yeah. I want to lead way to my next segment with him. So thank you for doing that. Um, I have last two questions, and I know I don't want to
Okay.
take too much of your time.
Oh, you're fine.
Um, One asset that I strongly believe it's so important, and I have to tell you how I thought about this. Kyle Stanley that was on our came to FACD. He had a webinar with Dr. Mitrani, and his poster, his what do you call it? His promo poster was about something reconstruction. Dave, ask your questions with Dr. Mitrani. This, and it was probably a little bit about that. The rest was so cool. It was so mystic. It was so Oprah style, what I like to call it. I was so I was so intrigued, and he even said it. Kyle even said, I'm glad I put this on for dentists, but I want dentists to hear this. So he talked about one thing really, really powerful. Dr. Mitrani did. He shared a story about his friend, and then he said, the biggest the biggest trait that we should have is gratefulness, and being grateful for our life, for everything we have. And he talked about that so personally, and it really was to the heart, and I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad he did that. Tell me, what are some of the things that you're grateful for? I want to know on a
Well, I mean, it's so important to be grateful for life because life is so fleeting, right? It's a mist. You're here one moment, you're gone the next. Like
you can yeah,
you just never know. I joke. I have this really bad joke where I say, "Well, I might get hit by a bus tomorrow," and it's awful. But at the same time, it kind of puts things into perspective. right?
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
am I grouchy about right now? Or what am I contemplating now? Or what, if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, what do I want my life to be right now in this moment? And forget about all the things that I don't have or haven't obtained or haven't achieved, right? What do I have? Because I have so much. I'm
Yeah.
grateful for being alive and breathing right now,
Yeah.
for my family, for the love that I have, for my peers, for my colleagues, for every single person along the way that has molded me and helped shape me into who I am today. I mean, what is there not to be grateful for? We always have something to be grateful for. It's, I think, reminding ourselves that we have something to be grateful for, because how quickly can your brain go down a rabbit hole, right?
Yeah.
Where you start
Yeah.
thinking about all the negative and then you get lost.
Yeah.
And so your brain is an organ and you have to tell it what you want it to focus on, right? That's why you have to set the intentions and remind yourself, like you
Yeah.
said, of what you're grateful for. So I mean, I am grateful for the opportunity to be in this profession, the opportunity to have this relationship with amazing people in work, and inspire my patients, and have, my family, and everything. It's
Yeah.
wonderful. We live in a wonderful place.
Yeah, and that echoes. I echo the same thing, and I remind myself every time. It's funny. One of the people I interviewed, Mandy. I don't know if you met her. She on her Facebook, she has Grateful Thursdays, and she just talks about the things that she's grateful for, and it's so awesome and it's so genuine. And I wait for that every Thursday, and it's I think it's such an important thing to remind ourselves. And really, happy people are grateful, and I really believe, and happy in sense of being satisfied with life, whatever life gives them. My last question I want to ask you is, what do you hope to accomplish through your work, through your purpose, through your job, through your profession? What are you hoping for to accomplish?
Well, I think, one of the things, especially with the happenings of the last few months, that we've all had to kind of face this reality of, like, okay, who am I plus nothing, right? Take away my occupation, take away my home, my car, even, you're isolated at home, right? So friends, family, like, who am I plus nothing? What purpose do I have? What do I have to offer the world? And I think, like, it comes back to what we were just saying, but reminding people that we have something to be grateful for, right?
Mm,
Life is only the moment that we have right now. Tomorrow is never promised. It's uncertain. So to be able to share that joy, right? It doesn't take things or your occupation or um, stuff just happening to us that's wonderful to find joy and happiness in life. The people that are truly happy are happy with themselves plus nothing, right? So I think just
so true.
inspiring, passing that on, giving some tools to help each other be able to find that. Who
Yeah.
am I plus nothing? What do I have to offer the world? And that's truly what I want out of all of this. In the end, that's what I like to accomplish. Something that we can do through dentistry, we can do through videos like what we're doing. But another joke that I always have is, if dentistry doesn't work out, I'm moving to New Zealand and I'm herding sheep. So you can do that no
That's not
matter
so
what
bad, actually.
profession you choose. It's not a bad idea, right? You
It's
see, if
not.
things get really bad, I'm out. But you can do that no matter who you are, right? So you can go to Publix and run into a cashier that's having the time of her life because she has decided that she's going to have a wonderful day. And you can have another
Exactly.
one that's grumpy
Yeah.
and might not even have a reason to be grumpy, right? So
Right.
spread the joy is the biggest thing. Remind ourselves and inspire each other.
Yeah. That's such good points. And that reminds me why I love your channel so much. And it's so, because I have to say, and you would agree with me, we have the toughest profession that I personally know of. There's so much stress involved. There's so much there's so many things going on in the actual profession that we're doing. And to have a great attitude and being good and having the skills, and on top of that, I think that will counter all of those tough times and all of those complex cases, complex situations. And I think that's and I hope my dentist friends that are watching this can can get can get this, that it just, we need to lighten up, we need to be
Mhm.
positive, we need to create a loving atmosphere for our team, for our staff, and have a purpose, and things will work out. It's we have good days and we have bad days,
Yeah, I
but
had an
anyhow.
attending that when I was in residency, he was retired, but then was the attending in residency, right? And he would say, when I was practicing, I would go to bed with my wife, my dog, and all of my patients. And now that I'm retired, I just go to bed with my wife and my dog. And it's so true, though. We
It
carry
is.
so much of that,
Yeah.
emotionally. There are days that are rewarding and there are days that are draining. And energy is a real thing. It's a real thing. When you're
Yeah.
this close to the patient that's nervous and has
Yeah.
anxiety, I mean, you give all of yourself. You leave it all there on the table. And then you've got to go see your next patient, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes we lose perspective, we lose sight of the big picture because we're so drained and we're so exhausted. So that's why I have that New Zealand joke about raising sheep, because I'm like, it's not that bad. Like, I have a choice when I get up in the morning, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
stuck. Nobody's stuck. We have choices.
Yeah.
And we love what we do. So we have to remind ourselves of why we love what we do, especially
Right.
on the hard days. And that, you know, we choose how we're going to live our lives today, and what it is that we're going to do with the tools that we have.
Absolutely. And with that, and I have to say, you talk a lot about that in your segments, which are just so good, and I encourage everybody to take a look at that. And I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate, and I've said it in the beginning, you truly inspired me to start this. And it's just, this is yes, there are a few people that are watching it, and I was kidding about 3 people. There are a few people that are going to watch this, but it really helps me as well, because I get to talk to so many inspired people and get to know them more on a personal level and what drives them, and that helps me as well, and I hope it helps a lot of people that are watching this.
Yeah, of
But
course, it's amazing for you to put that content out there for us to see it, because these conversations we might have with each other, but nobody gets to see that, right?
right,
Nobody gets to share
exactly.
it. So now
Yeah.
you get to share, which is great.
Yeah. And I have people that are surprised why I'm why I'm doing this. But you're right, this needs to be told. And I'm a humble guy, honestly. I don't like to talk about my charities and things like that, but and I'll be talking to Tom about, and this is something I was what your practice does for charities, but that's important for people to know. When I
Mm-hmm.
was with Rotary, when I was with all the other service organization, and in my last interview, Sharon, she brought that up, and it's important for people to know what they can do especially when it comes to charity and things like that. And I will get into that with Tom, that what your practice does and how it helps our community. So, but thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. I thank you for everything you do, and I believe our FACD. Let me do a little plug-in.
Do it.
Our Florida Academy of Cosmetic Dentistry, which I truly believe it is the best dental organization I have ever been involved in. It's such a great community. I have such a great time, even on Zoom on our board calls. And Dr. Agnini coming in as the president this 2020, he has some speakers lined up that are just
Really amazing.
incredible, really, really amazing. So I look forward to that, and I'm sure I'll see you there, and we'll see everybody Hopefully, I'm sure we'll still be social distancing, but it's gonna be great, and I hope it's still. As far as I know, it's still on. We have our board meeting on Monday, but it's gonna be amazing. And thank you again for your time and everything you
Thank
do.
you so much. No, thank you for having me on here. I mean, this is so great. I think the more we talk, the more we share, the more we get the word out there, you know, the better off it is for all of us. So nobody feels
Absolutely,
alone and isolated.
absolutely, absolutely. I think Buttercups was it?
Buttercup. I
Yeah,
think she
he's
might have
been.
had to sleep.
Yeah, he's been waiting patiently.
We bored her to
And
death. Thank you. And
have
I'm
a
so glad. I mean, this latte talk, what you've done with it is absolutely just amazing. And so my coffee time is, I started it more so for patients. 'Cause again, there's so much information that we as dentists just take for granted that everybody just knows about dentistry and what it is that we do. And there's so much that people don't know. So
right.
I started with coffee time just to share. And like you said, it does help me get some of this out. And I put my YouTube up after you put yours up, which is crazy. Talk about procrastination. My goodness, I've been working on that forever. And
Well,
so I
you've been
have 0
busy.
followers right now. Maybe I'll get my mom to follow me on YouTube.
There you go.
But it's all, you know what? It's all fun. It's about sharing and just keep doing what you're doing. This is totally amazing. You've brought some amazing people on here already. And I just love the direction that I was going to say dentistry is heading in, but I guess the direction that we're taking dentistry in, right? So that's
Yeah,
really cool.
exactly. That's such a good way to say it. But thank you again for your time, and have a great grand reopening, as they say. And
Yeah.
I enjoy watching you guys on Facebook and all the things that's going on. I know you're doing a lot of training with some really cool, sophisticated stuff, and I love it. But have a great week coming up. Thank you for your time. Please say hi to everybody,
We'll do.
and I'm sure we'll talk soon, and we'll see you soon.
We sure will. Tell everybody I say hi, and
I
I hope
will.
you guys are back up into your whatever this new normal is, right? Soon.
We're trying. Yeah. All right.
Bye.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Take care, dear. Bye.